In a bold and unorthodox move, the government of Vanchi has quietly rolled out a program that is now being referred to as First Copy Mania. This silent initiative, never formally announced but widely felt across the city, encourages local companies to manufacture first copies of luxury products, items that mimic global brands in look, feel, and prestige, yet come at a fraction of the price. The underlying intent is clear: to dismantle the city's growing obsession with imported luxury goods, an obsession that has created not only unsustainable spending habits but also a culture of superiority among the elite. The trigger: a tragedy in the streets. The initiative took shape in the aftermath of a tragic incident. A wealthy teenager, the son of a popular film star, fatally injured a bike rider after a minor scratch appeared on his imported car. The young man's anger and sense of entitlement spiraled into violence, and the event shook the conscience of the city. For the government, this was more than just a road accident. It was a symbol of how toxic the craze for luxury status symbols had become in Vanchi. The philosophy behind First Copy Mania. Rather than directly banning foreign luxury imports, a move that could trigger legal battles and international backlash, the government opted for a subtler, more disruptive strategy. Local companies were incentivized to flood the market with lookalike alternatives that are affordable, priced dramatically lower than the original items, convincing, crafted to closely resemble luxury brands in appearance and experience, distinct enough, designed with just enough differences to avoid direct trademark lawsuits. The objective was twofold. 1. Kill the craze. By removing the exclusivity of luxury goods, the desire to flaunt them loses meaning. If everyone can buy a near-identical product at 1/20th of the price, the status symbol collapses. 2. Kill the attitude, the arrogance that often accompanies luxury purchases. An unspoken divide between the rich and the rest is dismantled when branded prestige becomes indistinguishable from its first copies. Beyond clothes and accessories, what makes First Copy Mania particularly unique is its scope. It is not limited to handbags, shoes, or watches. The initiative stretches into tech gadgets, luxury vehicles, and even high-end appliances. In Vanchi, one can now see smartphones with near-identical interfaces to global flagships. Cars that carry the design language of world-class brands, yet run on local engineering. Home appliances and wearables that mimic foreign design while being manufactured domestically. These products, though not branded, carry an uncanny resemblance to the originals, creating a market where appearances alone no longer guarantee authenticity. A city transformed. The rise of First Copy Mania has already altered Vanchi's consumer landscape. Foreign brands, once dominant in elite neighborhoods, now struggle to maintain their foothold. Local businesses thrive as they scale their production lines to meet the sudden surge in demand. The black market prestige economy has been replaced by a curious, almost egalitarian mimicry market. At the same time, critics argue that the initiative blurs ethical lines, discourages innovation, and risks Vanchi's reputation internationally. Yet supporters counter that the social impact, dismantling vanity, deflating elitism, and democratizing access to luxury, is well worth the cost. Silent but loud. The Vanchi government has never officially acknowledged First Copy Mania, yet its fingerprints are everywhere, in policy nudges, in industrial grants quietly allocated to unbranded manufacturers, and in the silent tolerance of goods that elsewhere would be instantly seized. It is an invisible revolution, reshaping how a city views class, aspiration, and identity. Luxury in Vanchi, once a wall dividing rich and poor, is now a mirror. Anyone can look into it, but it reflects no hierarchy.